Hey guys, so last year I tried writing a novel in 1 year and I failed, okay? So this year I want to see if I can complete that novel. So the whole point of this channel is to come up with idea and then go from idea all the way to finished published novel, okay? And I want to show you how I do that step by step. So first things first, the idea, where did I come up with it, how? So I once went, I used to love going hiking in North Wales back in the UK. And one day a friend of mine told me about this secret World War II government facility that was underground and used to hold a lot of ammunition in. So we went down there and it is the creepiest place I've ever been in my life. Every sound you make would be echoed several times over because you were in this cylinder and there were cylinders next door with these holes in, and the sound would just travel and echo multiple times, and it was very creepy. The vibe of the place was like nothing else I've ever been in before. So I thought, great, that idea, how about I come up with a story, okay? I thought this idea of this horror movie or an action story happening in this mine. And then it ended up forming into this, okay, what if there were two characters in the mine, one of them's trying to save another one and the mine's going to explode and it's going to collapse. That's the biggest fear you have in a mine, is the fear of collapse, right? So I thought, okay, there could be some arms dealers in there because it used to be an ammunition storage facility. And then I thought, we don't want police because everyone knows how police work. How about Secret Service? They're Secret Service agents. You have more flexibility there because it's an unknown. So we can have a story where you have one Secret Service agent trying to save another in a mine that some arms dealers are trying to blow up and destroy. Okay, so we have our idea, then we need our characters, because a story isn't a story without characters. It just is a situation, especially if you can swap out your main character from your novel. You don't have a story. Okay, so up here are my three main characters. Now, the overall arcing theme of the story is that they're all trying to deal with grief in different ways. And we have Meredith, our main villain. Then you have Owain and Serena, my two MI5 agents. So starting with my main villain, Meredith. Meredith is an arms dealer, okay? And he lost someone, he has grief, and he tries overcoming that feeling he has by making a lot of money, because he has this fear that he needs to have financial security for his remaining family and friends, okay? So his main goal is to make a lot of money, and he does that through arms dealing. Quite contradictory, I know. Then you have Serena. Serena feels guilty because she feels responsible for the loss of one of her colleagues. They went on a mission together and that guy died, and she wants revenge, okay? The guy who was obviously responsible was the arms dealer, so she wants revenge, she wants to get it back, okay? And then next up you have Owain. Owain, he basically lost people when he served in the Marines, and as a result, he tries to hide those feelings and not feel them by feeling excitement instead, and just he wants to avoid the pain, and he does that by going and having as much fun as he can, and he gets really involved in his job, but as a result of having fun on the job, he ends up ruining his job and ends up trying basically to not lose it, and he gets to a point where he's going to be fired if he doesn't keep behaving, okay? So those three characters all end up making decisions that affect one another. So I thought, let's put that story into kind of a mind map here. It's a bit of a decision tree where you have one character makes a decision or an action, and that causes other characters to react and make other decisions based on that. And so I think this is absolutely necessary to map out your story. You'll have bits in here that you won't necessarily include in the story, like a character will tell someone, go and kill them. You don't want to include that in the story because later on you want that to be revealed that they were making that decision, not the person that tried killing them in the first place. And then I have an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, we still haven't actually written anything properly yet, but I have an Excel spreadsheet because I want to show chapter by chapter who's in it, what's happening, and then plan my setups and payoffs. So if I want to introduce a weapon, for instance, like a special gun, we can introduce it in the start of the story. We can then have characters talk about why it's useless or whatever, and then have the characters use it at the end and save the day. So that is why I have this spreadsheet. It's to help track what's been said by characters, what they've done, so that you can see, okay, this impacts that, and then it just makes the novel flow super well. And then, of course, we finally come to the Word document, which is where my novel is. So right now, I'm at 55,000 words. My target is 100,000, okay? That's roughly a 300, 400 page novel. So I figured if I complete that 100,000 words, we'll roughly get there. So that's my goal by the end of maybe September, is to finish the first draft, send it off to an editor, have a couple of edits, which thanks to that Excel spreadsheet, I know exactly where the edits need to take place if the editor comes back, and then hopefully we can get into publishing. So that's my goal, guys. Stick around and follow me, because I'll try and keep posting in once a week. I also have a TikTok channel where I'll be trying to post daily, just to show you where I am. And in the next episode, we'll talk more about the story and kind of what's happening in the novel itself. Okay, thank you for coming, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.